There it goes.
Oh, hold on. Let me do. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Good morning.
Good morning.
I wonder if it's just the cold weather that's given us all the tech problems.
We'll blame it on that.
Yeah, we will blame it on that. Hey guys, I am live this morning with LeeAnn Holt. LeeAnn, thank you for coming on this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to talk about organization. I love to be organized. I hate all the work that goes into it. So much work, but hopefully we're going to get some great tips and tricks this morning from you.
Yeah.
So LeeAnn, if you'll tell people just a little bit about yourself before we kind of get started.
Yeah. So like you said, my name is LeeAnn Holt. I am the owner of a company called Organized and Tidy, and we're based in the Collin County area. Kind of got started because my grandmother, before she passed away, I decluttered for her. And when she passed away more unexpectedly than we had thought. So when that happened, I don't want to say we were ready. We weren't ready mentally, but we were ready as in her home was already cleared out and we didn't have to go through those items. And we were able to focus on the funeral arrangements and the grieving part of it instead of scattering and going, oh, what do we do now? So I wanted to offer those services to other families who before they go through that situation.
People do not realize what a gift that you gave to your family when you did that, because that is a hard part of the process.
Mm-hmm. It
is
is
a lot of work,
Yeah.
I mean, we accumulate so much stuff over the course of our lives that we just don't even realize. And what do we do with it all?
Right. Yes. And especially that generation too.
Yes.
The generation who they went through the depression and
Kept everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember going to my mother-in-law's at any holiday, and she would send you home with to-goes that she kept from restaurants, like the little containers. She'd wash them out and keep them.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, where do you put all this stuff? But
yeah. In recycling.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's talk a little bit about the organization process. So you are definitely an expert. So I'm hoping people will come away today with some, either they realize they need your services, or, just some tips and tricks that they can, some things that they can kind of get started on themselves, or things that they can do themselves. So walk me through a little bit about what that process is like when you meet with a client to decide, hey, what are we going to do?
Yeah. So the process usually goes, well, one of two ways. So sometimes it's very emotional, just depending on the situation. There have been clients before who maybe suffer from depression or anxiety, and because of that, they've kind of just lived in this little space in their house or their room, and they're just so overwhelmed. And so a lot of the clients that call me end up in tears, and it's almost like a therapeutic session.
Yeah.
So that, I think in my second life, I was probably a therapist. So it brings a lot of joy to me that I'm able to literally talk them down and say, look, when I come in, I'm a third party, I'm unbiased, and I'm not just going to throw it away, and they'll tell me my mom or dad I don't want them to declutter for me because they're just going to throw all my stuff away. That means something to me. So I'll tell them, well, when I come in, we're going to meet together. Mom, dad, brother, sister can stay out of the room. It's just going to be us two. And it's going to be kind of like a therapy session. And for some reason that works, and it makes them very comfortable with me. And that's how I build that relationship of, I am coming into your personal space, and we're going to potentially let go of a lot of things, but in the end, you're going to feel so much better. And some of the anxiety and depression, it's not going to go away. It's not it's a disease, but it will help to relieve the stress of that a little bit.
Yeah. Having our space around us
Yes.
clear and organized, that does do something for us. It's funny, we had a house fire almost 2 years ago now, and we've only been in our new home about 3 weeks, so we hadn't unpacked a lot. We had a lot of stuff in our garage, and that's where the fire started. So we lost a lot of stuff. And as sad as it was to lose some of the memory stuff that I had, it was almost freeing, because we had a lot of my mother-in-law's things, and we had a lot of my stepmom's things, and my stepmom had kept her mom's things. We had a lot of people's things.
Yeah.
And it was sad, but there was this other flip side to it of, oh, don't need to go through all that anymore.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yes. It depends on how you look at it. You flipped it. You flipped the switch and said, I'm not instead of being sad and upset. I'm just let it go.
Let it go. You kind of have to, or there's no other way to get through that. But interesting. So I'm curious, what do you think is the area where your clients struggle the most with the organization and the decluttering? What's the biggest, maybe the most common struggle that people have?
So it's exactly what we just said. It's the letting go. It's when I first started out, people would ask me, what's your ideal client? What's your ideal client? And at first, the first few months of business, I said, oh, just somebody who needs organizing and decluttering. I didn't know what to say. And the more and more I went on, I said, wait, because I had a client once who was not ready to let go.
Yeah.
And I physically could not do my job. And so it made me feel like I had failed. But when I look back, I thought, well, she wasn't ready. So it wasn't on me. It was, I need to be able to, or I need to have my client tell me, hey, I'm ready to let go, and you can come into my space now and help me let go.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I tell them. If you're not ready, give me a call when you are. So that's one of the things. But that's also that's the senior citizen generation too. A lot of younger clients, they've grown up in that of their parents and their grandparents kind of doing the pack rat thing.
Yeah.
And they'll tell me, I will never be like that. I'm a minimalist. So this generation is completely switched. But yeah, the older generation it's the letting go. It's also them determining what is actually a value versus what is better donated.
Yeah.
The China sets, and I hate to say it, the China sets that some grandparents think, oh, well, this has been passed down for some generations. A lot of those won't. And maybe if it's 1 in a million, but it's those usually aren't worth much. And so it's better off. It's better off to just be donated, and somebody else can use it instead of wasting the time, energy, and money sometimes to post it online and on these sites. So it's better sometimes just to let it go. But I do have an appraiser that I work with. And so if there is questions from anybody, I will have her come in and make sure it's not some antique valuable item.
Yeah. That's crazy to me, the different value system that people assign to things. And that China is a great example, because young kids don't see the value in that any longer.
No.
Yeah.
No, we don't want it.
No, they don't want it. It's funny. So if someone was like, oh, I just need to get a little organized, a little decluttered, where should I start? What are some do-it-yourself things that people might be able to do to either stay ahead of that process or help themselves feel a little better about a space that they have?
Yeah. So, and these are things that I use in my own life, my own house. So I have a stepdaughter who has ADHD. And so I kind of do some things with her to placing certain items here and there. And for me, it's a DIY thing because I can do it on my own, and it seems to work for her. So one of the things I call the hanger purge, I will go through the house and I will just start yelling hanger purge. And so I cannot stand when extra hangers are in between shirts and pants on the rack. And so I will every day I'll go in and I'll take it, because when I take a shirt off, I put the hanger either in one space in the closet, or I take all of them to the laundry room. And
Oh,
it
smart.
helps. And it's so crazy because it helps you later on when you're doing laundry. You're not scattering, going, where are the hangers? You're already frustrated because you're having to do laundry. So if you just have everything all together, it saves a lot of stress. So that's the hanger purge, I call it. And then, so this is based on one of my clients who has his issue is with mail, and
Oh my gosh.
he
Yeah.
will go check the mail, but what he does is he brings it to the kitchen table and we'll go through every piece. I mean, spam mail, junk mail, bills, everything. So I had to kind of tell him, when you walk in the door, as you're walking in, be already looking at your mail. Just look at it and start figuring out what's trash, because you already pretty much know.
Yeah.
So as soon as you see it's trash, what I do, I rip it in two and I hold on to it. And that way, when I get in, I go immediately to the recycle bin and I put that in the recycling bin. Now, if you're worried about your address or your personal information being on it, then shred it. But I mean, address is public information.
Yes,
So
it
it's
is.
not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had to help him understand you don't have to go through all the spam and all the junk mail. You already know what it is. And I think he was 85 years old, so he knows what is junk. But he tears it up now, puts it in recycling, and it helps declutter the kitchen table, because he was bringing it to the kitchen table where they eat, and now there's no room to eat. And so it was causing problems. And then his wife was getting agitated because she wanted her space. So that's checking the mail. That's kind of my rule. You don't have to bring everything to the table. Just go to the recycle bin. And then a third one that I kind of think is good is schedule a full day every 3 to 6 months to declutter. If you're not ready to hire somebody, and you're like, I can do this on my own, do not do it all at once. That's for me to do. I can come in, I have the patience to do it all at once and get it done in a few days. You don't have to do that. So take a Saturday or Sunday, 3 hours here, 3 hours there, take a lunch break, and just pick a space that is your top priority or the most visited room in your house, and just declutter. And you'll start realizing, oh my gosh, this is so freeing. And you'll go, well, the kitchen cabinets, I could do those real quick. And it just becomes a process. So yeah, those are a few DIY tricks on organizing and decluttering.
It's funny. I saw one of my friends post on Facebook. It was either Saturday or Sunday, and it was like this funny, crazy meme. And her caption was, "Why did I think today was a good day to take everything out of my master closet to reorganize it?" And I was like, "Oh, that sounds familiar." Like, we get all gung ho. We're like, we're going to do this project. And then we're like, oh, what was I thinking?
Yes. But if you maintain it, then that's the thing. It's that you some people let it go too far, and then that becomes overwhelming. But if you constantly and consistently take out, I mean, I think every 6 months I go in there, and we all have mood changes. I go in there and I'm like, I love that shirt a month ago, and it's just hideous now. And I don't know why, but at that time, I don't sit there and think about it. I go, I don't want it. If I had that thought at one point in time, it's donation, because somebody else will have a different idea and mindset about it.
That's pretty smart. I wish I did that.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, maybe I'll wear this again.
No.
Oh,
No, you won't.
I know I probably won't.
You won't.
If I don't want to wear it today, I probably won't want to wear it tomorrow.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me if you have like your favorite go-to product or process for organizing. What's your favorite?
So without naming any businesses,
Yeah.
because there's ones I prefer for certain spaces, but you don't have to go expensive. That's where my mindset, my motto is. I like to offer my clients different options. And when I say that as in pricing, they are all the same product. It
Wow.
does not matter. One is probably $50 from a certain store, but you can go to, I mean, just generalizing, a Dollar General, and they have little plastic thing. Those are perfect. All you need is something to hold. If you're going more for like a clear bit, you know, you want something that you're going to see when you walk into your space, then maybe a little bit more, you can spend a little bit more on that. But I'm all about the drawer organizers that go in a drawer and hold your pens and pencils or cooking utensils. I love those. I love them because you put it in a space where you're kind of already stressed, like in the kitchen cooking, you're trying not to burn something and trying to make dinner for the family, and the last thing you want to do is be, you know, scrambling through the drawer going, where is that spoon?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in the stressful rooms, just put in a cheap little plastic bin, and that'll work perfect for what it's used for.
Yeah.
So that's mine. And I'll provide clients with, here's 3 options.
Yeah. Yeah. I have lost sound for a minute. Can you still hear me? Okay, perfect. All right. Well, those are all great advice and great tips, and I appreciate you coming on here so much. And I hope that if people need to get in touch with you, if someone's like, oh my gosh, don't want to do it myself, I'm going to have Leanne come in and do, will you come in and like do a room or do the house so they can kind of pick and choose which of your services that they want to use or need. Okay, perfect. I'm going to have you go on to Facebook and put your contact information in this live. I'll connect with you to make sure that you can do that. So if people need to get in touch with you, they can. And I just appreciate your time today. Stay warm. Okay. All right. Bye.